Good morning, everybody. So this is my assignment for the subject of syntax and teaching grammar. This is graded activity 3, video recording. The instructions are provide tips to teach objects, direct, indirect, and oblique by Daisy Junga. Okay, first of all, I would like to explain what an object is, and after I will explain the 3 different types of objects and give some tips of how to teach them. First, the object of a sentence, if there is one, normally comes after the verb phrase. Whether there is an object or not depends on the meaning of the verb. For example, if you want to talk about what someone is doing, you might say, she's writing. But if you want to talk about the point of the activity, you might say, she's writing a book. Let's see a few examples of direct object. We are going to start with that. An object that follows a verb like this in the example is a direct object. Rory found a pen. Our cat doesn't like milk. In the example in the image, we have our cat caught a mouse. A mouse is the direct object. And the boss saw her downtown. The direct object is her because it comes after the verb. Tips for teaching the direct object. Well, a direct object answers the question. We can direct our students telling them that a direct object answers the question, what was affected by the action of the verb, or who was affected by the action of the verb. For example, Thomas sent a letter. What was sent? A letter. Letter is a direct object. Frank kissed Angela. Who was kissed? Angela or Angela. Angela is a direct object. Lastly, direct objects can be nouns, proper nouns, pronouns, phrases, and clauses. Actually, VER 2009 says something similar that direct objects can be nouns, pronouns, phrases, and clauses. About the indirect object, an indirect object names the person for or to whom something is done. It is usually needed with verbs like give, find, and owe. For example, with the verb give, we need to name both the thing that is given and the person it is given to. For example, Mike owes Tom £5. Rob gave me a box of chocolates. Susan bought her rabbit some more food. So in the example in the graphic, we can see he gave the pirate a chance. The verb is gave, who received it is the pirate, and a chance is the what. A good tip for teaching this is that indirect objects answer questions. For example, indirect objects answer the questions to whom, to what, for whom, for what. For example, Susan offered Fred some good advice. To whom was advice? Direct objects in a sentence. Offered Fred. Fred is the indirect object because the advice was offered to Fred. So it is important for us to communicate our students this. The next one, the teacher teaches the students science in the morning. And for whom is science, direct object in a sentence taught to the students. Finally, the oblique object. Recent work in syntax deploys the concept of oblique object. In English, any noun phrase that is the complement of a preposition is an oblique object, where the prepositional phrase is itself the complement of a verb. In example A, to Jose, to Pedro, and for Jane, A, B, and C are oblique objects. So Tatiana wrote to Jose, Jose is the oblique object. Magnus went to Pedro or Pedro's house will be the oblique object. And Frank bought a piano for Jane, that will be the oblique object. Tips for teaching an oblique object. An oblique object is a grammatical relation proposed for a noun phrase clause constituent with the following characteristics. So we can list these characteristics for our students to see and explaining about it. Like in the examples we gave before. First of all, its nature and behavior are more readily describable in semantic terms than syntactic. It is likely to be the most constrained in the semantic roles in my individually expressed. It is likely to be marked by a position or case affix. It is not likely to be target of syntactic rules such as agreement with a verb or strategies of relativization. Examples, English prepositional phrases as a clause constituents can be considered oblique objects like she was bitten by a spider. Finally, this is a bibliography. Thank you very much.